president and the porn star. It's a tale as old as time. No. For years we've been hearing about Donald Trump's night with Stormy Daniels, but we've never known exactly what went down until now. And a warning for anyone who's eating dinner, this gets gross.
Hush money, satin pyjamas, spanking. It can only mean one thing.
The storm is coming.
That's right, Pippin. Stormy Daniels has taken the stand in Donald Trump's hush money trial, explicitly detailing under oath the encounter she regrets and he denies.
Riveting, bombshell, sometimes icky testimony.
Daniels testified that in 2006 she had dinner with Trump, during which he told her he and Melania slept in separate bedrooms, asked about the professional dangers of STDs, and said she reminded him of his daughter Ivanka, saying,
"She is smart and blonde and beautiful, and people underestimate her as well."
Later, Daniels says she emerged from the bathroom to find Trump lying on the bed in his underwear. When she tried to leave, Trump allegedly stood between her and the door and said, "This is the only way you're getting out of that trailer park."
It's then, she says, that Trump had sex with her.
Daniels went into such sordid detail, including sexual positions, him not wearing protection, and her spanking Trump with a magazine, that Judge Merchant kept having to cut her off. It was so salacious, Donald actually managed to stay awake.
He had a scowl on his face for most of the time, but he was paying attention, Jake. There was no period where he was closing his eyes.
Trump's lawyers moved for a mistrial based on Daniels' testimony.
The testimony was irrelevant, it was prejudicial, it was not probative.
But the prosecution claims her testimony is key to the charges against Trump. 34 counts of falsifying business records, which include hush money to Daniels. The judge agreed she'd gone too far, but denied the mistrial. But outside court, Trump claimed victory.
So this was a very big day, a very revealing day. This whole case was just a disaster.
So was all this just a titillating circus, or the crucial testimony that will damn Donald?
Well, here to give his own titillating testimony is Steve Clemons. Steve, did Stormy on the stand give us anything important, or just a lot of people an excuse to snigger and dry retch simultaneously?
Absolutely, because President Trump kept saying this didn't happen, and she went into sometimes excruciating detail to basically convince those of us listening that this encounter did happen. So at that level, this mattered.
Donald Trump is not actually on trial for the affair itself. So what was Stormy's motivation for providing so much compelling detail?
Well, there's always, the public interest, but maybe a little payback. I mean, President Trump called her horse face, said this didn't happen. And I think there was an element of she wanted to set the record straight, and she's been making, money, as people alluded to, out of this incident. So wanted to fill in those blanks.
What are people making of hearing such sordid details about Donald Trump's sex life?
Look, I think there is a little bit of, intrigue, a little bit of, snickering, and a little bit of people who are, some people who are disgusted and don't want to hear this. And we even know the judge actually told her to dial it back a little bit and don't go into every detail about this encounter.
There's a real irony here, though, Steve, isn't there? I mean, this is a case about money that Trump paid to Stormy Daniels, almost $200,000, which was hush money. So the whole point was that we would never hear this. Now I think it's fair to say Stormy Daniels is decidedly unhushed. Was it a mistake for him to pay her in the first place?
Of course. If you're running for president of the United States, I think you need to know everything you've done or said in your life is going to be a known thing. So, of course, it was silly for him to pay her. He paid her because he was running for president. So that was a lot of money down the drain, so to speak.
Will Stormy have to pay it back?
No.
So I'm not a lawyer.
No,
I don't know how these things work.
I think it's gone over the transom. That money is gone.
Now, Trump did yet another rant outside the courtroom, and the judge keeps threatening him with jail time if he continues violating the gag order, but he's still doing it. So are we going to see Trump behind bars? Is that what he wants?
Well, President Trump has already come out and said if I have to go to jail to protect the First Amendment and the right to free speech, he's going to go to jail. And so I think in some senses There are a lot of people out there that would be very, very upset and angry if they saw President Trump go to jail. Some people think that will win him the election because he's painting himself as the victim here, not as a perpetrator of a crime, not as a guy who is trying to hush somebody up, but as someone that the legal system is terrorizing and going after. And I think him being behind bars in jail will seal that deal with a lot of his voters that say this system is really out to get him.
Steve, and maybe, I don't know if you know this, but do you know what magazine was used?
I have no idea. The magazine that she swatted his rear end with?
That's the one, yeah.
I don't know what the magazine was.
Okay.
But yeah, she talked about, yeah, but she hit him on the rear end with a magazine.
Wasn't Horse and Hound, was it?
But I'll continue my research. Zoo magazine.
It was a Zoo magazine, I think.
Sure.
Steve, isn't that the kind of detail you're meant to be across?
Yes.
Exactly.
Do you need to go away and see if you can find it out and report back to us maybe later in the show?
I will gladly find out. I'll give her a call. A lot of us have her number, and we can give her a call and find out, because she's been making herself very available for years to talk about this incident.
All right, we will resist the urge to make jokes in response to what you just said and move on. Steve, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, folks.